Brandon Staley making interesting decisions with Tyreek Hill as one of the wide receivers that is available for Tua. And I believe D-Butt will be breaking down some of that on Everything DB to talk about the Miami Dolphins from ESPN. So I'm having an incredible feature this weekend with Coach McDaniel. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Darlington.
Yeah.
Jeff, thank you for joining us, pal.
What's up?
You look awesome.
Yeah, man.
You look
Thanks
awesome.
for having me.
Yeah,
First time.
Yeah, the first time. You look good. We're big fans. I saw the football you have there behind you. That means that you either got really good friends somewhere or you. Yeah.
Hey, that's a high dollar item, by the way. That ain't no normal pigskin.
Yeah, everything they have in that gift shop is a high dollar item. They're wondering how you pay for brand new trees every year and being able to flip a golf course overnight. It's like, well, this football you want to buy, $7,000. All you get to hear.
Oh, you got a deal.
Yeah, exactly, Jeff. It was a beautiful place, and we appreciate you joining us. I saw a piece you did with Coach McDaniel this weekend, and there was one part that really stuck out to me that we're going to run right now, but I'm excited to get your thoughts on why he's the guy that could potentially lead this Dolphins team, not only just to being good and a good story, but maybe a championship, especially after week one with how every other team at the top of the AFC looks. 2:24 a.m.
Mike McDaniel didn't start waking up this early to beat the Heat. He did it instead, he says, as a promise to himself that he'd never again jeopardize his career like he once did as a 25-year-old Houston Texans assistant under then head coach Gary Kubiak in 2008.
When was the last time you were late for work?
So Gary Kubiak was very regimented, and at like 6 on the dot, he would call my office phone, and there was 2 occasions where that just kept ringing, and then where's Mike? And I'd show up in a panic 45 minutes later because I was sleeping at the time.
So that led into an entire conversation about the way he was living, and Kubiak also telling him, like, hey, this is going to be a pivotal moment in your life to try to wake him up. Then he wasn't hired for 865 days, I think is what it was the number.
Right.
And then he gets this opportunity now at Miami after having success in San Francisco, and we've all fallen in love with him, but I don't think any of us know his backstory at all. What have you learned about him since he's come to Miami that makes you believe, yeah, this guy could win a championship as a head coach in the NFL?
Yeah, Pat, like I've known Mike a long time, going back, 15 years. And the 2 things that, like, when he got hired, I knew people would see this quirky guy and this sense of humor and maybe even thrown off by it a little bit, reasonably so. I get that. But the 2 things I thought he would do really well is, first, we knew that he was a great offensive mind. He was doing that for Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. The other thing, though, that talking to guys in San Francisco, knowing Mike myself, this dude resonates in a locker room in a way to everybody in there, black, white, poor, rich, whatever your background was. This guy can really reach everybody in there. So I knew those 2 things would be factors. What I was especially impressed with when he did actually get that job is what a well-oiled organization he's run. Practices, meetings, all that stuff that sometimes can be a disaster for a head coach. He's done that in a way that I think maybe is going to make him pretty special.
Yeah, we've enjoyed watching his offenses, obviously, and we had a chance to have him on the show one time, and it was awesome.
Did jokes fly over your head at all, or did you get everything he said?
Jeff, come on. Jeff, shut up, Jeff.
Okay? I know you're an intelligent guy. I'm not saying that.
No.
Mike will say something to me, and then it takes me about 20 minutes. I walk out of the room or an hour later and I laugh at the joke. Like I didn't get it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, he dumbed it down for us. Yeah, he didn't do anything that was too sophisticated. He knew his audience.
Do you think I was calling you dumb, Pat?
No.
Did you think that?
No, I just thought you thought that I didn't understand his humor, which I do. Like, he was one of the greatest conversations that we had. Like, he came in and sat down in the middle of the combine, had no idea who we were, and then he was basically just like, what's going on, boys?
That's awesome.
And he just held court. He held court
Yeah.
for like 35 minutes, and his answers were incredible and engaging, and we thought, this guy is beloved. Is this guy going to be able to win a Super Bowl? To your point, though, with the regimen and like the accountability factor and being able to rein in all the big personalities, egos, and talent that they have on that team to all go in one direction is not an easy feat. We're all incredibly proud of him. Go ahead, AJ.
Jeff, when you observe Tua this year, does it feel any different? Is he acting any different? Does he look different? Because he feels like he's kind of taken ownership of this thing, at least in the media and everything. How he presents himself, I feel like.
Yeah. I think, look, I'm not one of these guys. I don't really love to like harp on the past or like bring like what Brian Flores did before works for some people. Bill Belichick kind of did a similar thing with Tom Brady for years. Tough love the whole time, and it worked for him. I don't think Brian Flores' leadership style worked well with Tua. I think Mike McDaniel's does. He has empowered him in a way and given him a sense of confidence. I've never seen a player ever go from where he was to where he is now in terms of his confidence, the way he's been empowered, the way he's got playing with an edge. And to me, I know the health thing is going to always be there a little bit. He's done his best to try to mitigate that. But to me, his confidence, we saw that. Not just in his personality, but on the field, the way he was throwing the football.
Yeah, and you talk about the mental toughness, and that's what I believe McDaniel was alluding to with Tua. It's not just what Flores did, but also what the organization did. And I don't want to dive into it because the Dolphins community did not make any of these decisions, and they do not deserve us going into the past, especially when they appear to be the best team in the AFC right now by a pretty wide margin after week 1. It's like Tua, they said, he doesn't have any injuries. Whenever Tua got taken off the field, carted off basically with a rib, like the Miami Dolphins are reporting, no injuries at all for him. So what you saw, this dude's being a baby. Then the Deshaun Watson conversation got real loud while Tua was there. Fitzmagic comes in. He's the guy. Then they bench Fitzmagic for Tua. Don't tell anybody, including Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic comes out publicly. He's like, I didn't know this was the case. So the locker room immediately is like, we hate this guy. Then when 2-minute drills start happening, most important times of the game, Tua's getting benched. It's like the amount of things that were stacked up against Tua, let alone the hip injury coming out of college. And when he was training for the combine and for the draft, a tornado came through where he was training at. It's like the amount of things that have stacked up against this dude. To get to this point, it's inspiring. It's fantastic.
Pat, one of the things, I don't know if a lot of people know this story, but when Mike first got there, and we talked about this, and it was we had like a longer piece on YouTube. He went into his office and he's sitting there, he's breaking down film like any head coach would do of their quarterback. And he starts seeing Tua doing all these things that he's like, holy, I can't even say those words on your show anymore.
No, you can't. Most of them.
Yeah, I can't say that one, right? So he says, this guy right here is doing these elite things with ball placement. So he goes and he chops up at 2 a.m, puts together 700 plays of Tua being elite. Says he's running around the building telling everybody about it. Pulls Tua in there, makes him watch it. And that was sort of the beginning of the moment when Mike McDaniel said, not only do I believe in you, I believe that you can be absolutely great, that you can be a championship quarterback. Whether he will be that, we'll see. But I think it goes a long way to empower a player like that.
Quick one here from me before Ty has a question about another quarterback that you know a lot about. Tua got a good rear naked choke. Good, you think?
I don't know. I don't know, Pat.
Probably really do some research, dude.
Yeah.
I'm more of a go hang out with the coach at 2 a.m, not really a wrestle with the player kind of thing.
He's doing jiu-jitsu. It's a big deal. He knows how to fall now, which is a big storyline because if Tua's
that is a good storyline.
It is. Well,
people laugh at that stuff a little bit. I think there was a lot of people that were kind of rolling their eyes about it, but I remember watching RG3 used to slide and be like, dude, that guy needs to work with somebody, And then I think he actually did end up working with some baseball players. Like, whatever you got to do to fix it is cool. Like, I don't know. It seems like if it's unconventional, maybe people look at it a little weird, but that stuff can work sometimes.
We loved it. Also, not only the thought of him falling, but also somebody dipping around the edge and him grabbing their arm. You know what I mean? That is just something I'm here for. I want to let you know I'm here.
But by the way, is it just me or does it look like I'm using like an iPhone 1?
Yeah, it looks terrible. Yep. It looks absolutely awful. AQ Shipley was also terrible earlier in the day. AJ though, wow.
My God.
Look how good AJ looks, Jeff.
AJ, what are you doing? How do you look so good?
Well,
are you in that cigar
Jeff,
room in your house?
He drinks long process. Long process over here, Jeff.
He used a lot of lotion. He's up there like 3 a.m. too, doing cardio every day. Not like McDaniel, but he's certainly up there. We only have 1 minute left on ESPN before we just continue to carry on YouTube. And we have no reason to expect any of you to join us on YouTube because SportsCenter will be live on ESPN 7 minutes from now. But Darlington, that piece you did on McDaniel, are you a Miami-based guy? Or are you doing all NFL? What is your specific?
I do all NFL. I do. I live in Fort Lauderdale, but I do the whole league. I've known Mike for so long though that that helped. Like literally back. 15 years ago, I was rolling with Kyle Shanahan at the combine. We were both little guys, And I'd be like, who's this guy over here with the glasses? Who's this? I didn't even think I had glasses. I'm just a quiet guy. And I was like, that's Mike. That was like 2007 or 2008.
And then
this guy in the corner. And all of a sudden, here he is.
Now he's running the most efficient offense of all time. Is he going to start running the ball, or is it only going to be pass game, you think?
He'll do whatever it takes, man. He'll do the whole thing. He had a reputation of just being a running guy, but he could put together a good passing attack.
You take a lot of pride on looking good. You look great. A little blurry, but you still look good. Everybody
look
can see it. But you also have had great relationships in the NFL. One of them being Tom Brady. His name has recircled now in the conversation. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Jeff, given your relationship with Tom, and I think you were the one kind of the whole time who said, everyone was talking about teams he might go to after he left New England, and you kind of were like, from the very start, hey, Tampa Bay is a place to look. Obviously, you had that right. You have a good relationship with him. A lot of people are saying now, like, hey, will the Jets reach out to Brady given the news about Aaron Rodgers? Have you spoken to him recently? Do you have any inclination that he might be interested in coming back? And do you think the Jets will actually reach out to him?
I don't. Yeah, I would make sense, honestly, if the Jets did reach out to him. He was, as of before this injury ever happened, he is very inclined to stay in retirement. I don't have any reason to believe otherwise. When we did talk about teams back then, New York made a lot of sense. He had a place there. I think he still rents a place there. And Jack, his son, lives there, which is very important to him from a family perspective. But I don't get any sense that would be the case. And it's also, I think it'd be very complicated with his ownership stake with the Raiders. You got to be a player and an owner at the same time. You got to have 24 owners voting that it's okay. It gets very complicated, and I have no reason to believe that he is necessarily interested anyway.
Would be a sweet Jackie Moon story if Tom Brady did it for two different teams, though.
Yeah.
Owned another team, played for a different one, and did halftime performance where he's running, saying, let's go.
Yeah.
He said, but I'm just saying they muted it in his thing. We're watching his mouth. It isn't what you guys are saying he's saying. Tom Brady, greatest of all time, he says, let's fucking
that's right.
go.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Wow.
Potty.
Did he start that? Did he start LFG? Was that him?
First person.
Was he the first person, or was it a thing
so.
before him?
Yeah.
He also created fire in the chair.
Jeff, there was a time where I was a kid.
Wheel.
There was a time where I was a kid where I thought I created chillax. I felt so cool. I was like 8 or 9 years old, walking around telling everybody to chillax. I was like, I put chill and relax together. I felt like I was a genius.
Yeah.
And then
I invented the iPad.
You
too.
did?
I actually invented that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't do it, but I thought of it first.
Oh, you said screen that you could touch that has everything in it.
Yeah.
So you created the iPhone too, I guess it sounds like.
Wow.
No, I didn't think of the iPhone, but I definitely created the iPad.
Two very different things.
No calls.
Yeah. Two different things. I thought about the newspaper element, but I just didn't invent it.
Oh.
Jeff Jobs.
I just Googled it. Let's Fucking Go was created by Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu is dead, by the way.
Boom.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Art of War
Listen,
soon.
yeah.
So he can't claim
Art of War, yeah.
Sun Tzu died, by the way.
No. Really?
When? Yeah.
Is that a recent thing?
Well, that's the thing about it, Jeff.
Somewhat.
Some people
Not
would think that. I guess it was a couple thousand years before Jesus Christ ever really showed up.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Sun Tzu's been dead a long time.
Brutal.
And Patriots.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You learn something every day.
Still miss him.
I shouldn't be laughing. It's sad no matter what.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Miss you,
It is.
Susan.
Yeah, you're a bad guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of messed up.
And once you look back on who else was laughing alongside of you, those are your peers now. You need to know that you're a terrible person.
Not me.
That's just the way it is. Jack, though, his kid, Tom Brady's kid, kid's got a jumper, bro. He's already like 6'2" or whatever. They were in the gym last night.
Look at
Tom Brady's got a jumper, first of all, shooting from high school threes, which is obviously we're not going to judge him for that. He's at the gym that he's at. He's stroking it. His kid, though, tall,
Look at that.
is a Brady
wide
and
in
shoot.
stance, no?
Yeah.
Why not? Is Jack Brady going to be an NBA guy?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like Klay Thompson in this highlight reel.
So is
Perfect
Tom.
Form.
Oh, God.
That step
okay.
back. That step back.
Bang. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it is. And then I assume Tom's got, Michael Jordan probably texting Jack telling him, did we hit 3,000 free throws today? Did we hit 10,000 threes today? Did we get better or do we get worse? Are we representing the family or are we embarrassing the family? And then Tom and Michael Jordan telling Jack how to operate and how to get better. Let's hope this kid's head doesn't explode because he's too competitive. But if he has that jumper at this age, I just assume he's going to be the greatest in the NBA's history. Congrats to the NBA. You're getting a Brady.
Congrats.
Way to go, NBA.
Congrats.
I'm more impressed with Tom than I am with Jack there, though. That's surprising. I would expect him to be terribly awkward at basketball for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it's because the way he runs and other things that take place. Tone has a question for you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, I believe you were in Acrisure for that beating. How did Brock Purdy look coming off the injury, and do you think the Niners are going to lose a game this year?
I think they're going to go undefeated.
Nice.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah. I will say I was very impressed by the 49. I don't really think they're going to. I was very impressed by the fact that I think it's not very often that an offense comes out firing week one right away. Dolphins did it. 49ers did it. I thought that Brock Purdy, if there was any questions left to answer, he did a really good job. He's just so efficient, moving the ball down the field. You know, I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady, but if there was a comp, he definitely has that sort of, I'm not going to do too much, but I'm going to just quietly just orchestrate drives. And when I want to take a shot, occasionally I'll do that. But to me, he's the perfect quarterback for that offense.
All right. Well, Jeff, we appreciate your time. Congrats on all the success. And that piece on McDaniel was awesome. I think it's like 7 minutes long, 5 minutes long. How long is it?
Yeah, it was about 7 minutes. But he was all, I mean, that's all about the subject, man. Mike, I was really appreciative of him being so vulnerable.
How about your voiceover? How about your voiceover on that thing?
Unreal.
What'd you think about it?
He didn't start.
Was it okay?
He didn't start waking up this early to avoid the heat. I think that because natural people would say, obviously in Miami, he's waking up that early because of how damn hot it was. I thought that was a smart.
That's like flipping turning a phrase there.
Yeah.
Is that what they call that?
Boom.
Hey, Pat, it was real fun. I thought AJ talked more.
All right. Well, it's because of how bad you looked. If your screen was better, AJ would have said more stuff.
I mean, it is awful. I'm very sorry.
I'd say. Yeah, I mean, it was on ESPN too, Jeff.
Yeah, it is.
So I hope you're happy. The white teeth.
Throttling your internet. That's what happens.
Oh, you think somebody's throttling Donner in Miami? Is that what you're
I
saying?
think someone's throttling Jeff. Someone's throttling Jeff's internet.
AJ, you look really good.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah. Oh, Jeff.
Well, they got me these great cameras set up and everything.
I got a great you should see the camera I'm using. Is it
I'm telling you, they throttle your internet, Jeff. There's nothing you can do. They've attacked me multiple times. They come after you sometimes and they'll throttle everything you have.
You're an anonymous target. They don't even know that it's Jeff Darlington. You're just getting attacked there. They say, hey, the pearly whites will shine through, but everything else is going to stink. Sure. Your message, though, no flubs.
No, never wavered.
It was really good. We appreciate it.
It was a good microphone situation?
Yeah. Well, that's like the cheapest one you can get at Guitar Land or whatever the hell the thing is called.
Guitar Land, yeah.
This thing, a Yeti?
Oh, yeah.
Blue Yeti?
Yeah, that's hey, you just started a podcast.
Here it is.
There you go.
I don't have to use this thing with the ESPN. You guys are the ones with the ghetto thing, the FaceTime.
Oh! Wow.
I thought you guys were, big deal these days.
I don't know. We had to downgrade our cameras to catch up to ESPN. Yeah. Seems like we got to upgrade yours. We will do that because we appreciate your time. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Darlington. Jeff. His teeth are so white.
Yeah. So white.
Yeah, for real.
Got a great tan, too.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.